why selling simple automations just won't really build you a long-term business. That's if you're looking to get into the whole AI space, start your own AI agency, it's not as easy as it sounds, right? And to be very frank with all of you, if you're trying to get into the AI agency game, make money, build clients, and stay relevant for a long period of time, selling something like simple, booking systems, automations, or anything of that sort is really not going to get you far. Sure, you might make a couple of $1,000s here and there when you start off, but when it comes to doing something long term, you're gonna hit a wall, right? Now the real game is in systems, okay? Not single automations. And what I mean by this is every business already has, they have loads and loads of people pitching to them about chatbots and appointment bookings and reminders and lead generations, and I can go on and on with this list, right? But there's a very small percentage of people that can actually step in, study a business ideally, and say, here's exactly where your workflow breaks. Here's how we can fix that. Here are the systems that you need. Here are the exact solutions that I can provide to you as a business that's going to help you leverage AI in the long term, right? And it's not just a basic automation like I mentioned. Now, that ideally is what separates the builders, quote unquote, from people who actually understand how AI works, right? And when you have that knowledge and when you have that skill, that's exactly what's going to help you grow, generate loads and loads of revenue, as well as keep your clients for years and not just weeks, days, or even months. Okay. Now, the first thing you need to understand is how systems work before you actually even build them, right? And ideally, what I mean by this is before you start automating, you need to understand the actual architecture behind business operations, okay? And you need to ask questions like, where does this business lose time, for example, daily? Or what tasks depend on too much manual work? And even questions like, what processes are, let's say, generating revenue and what processes are actually leaking them, okay? And once you actually come to the point where you can really diagnose these issues, or what we call bottlenecks in a business and their operations, it ideally sets you up for actually leveraging the whole AI situation and the whole AI space to position yourself as an expert rather than just a builder, okay? Now, the third point that I also want to cover is it's really about efficiency, revenue, and time, okay? Most successful AI agencies don't sell cool AI tools or talk about how this tool can do X, Y, and Z. They basically sell outcomes. And I've talked about this in a lot of my videos that I post on TikTok. And they sell outcomes like, saving time, for example, automating 5 hours a day of repetitive work, or efficiency, so maybe faster communication, revenue growth, so system that helps the businesses handle more leads, which eventually leads to more revenue, right? So you're not actually just building workflows, you're actually building true leverage that businesses actually can justify the price that you charge, or does think that you are an expert in that space. Yeah. Now, the next point that I want to get on is to just focus on 1 to 2 niches max. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't go down the road of, trying to cater to each and every single business. It's really not going to serve you best. It's really not going to work. Okay. And this is ideally the biggest mistake that most beginners make, is that they try to sell to everyone and then they end up selling to no one. So you can't become an expert in, let's say, real estate, e-commerce, dental clinics, and SaaS all at once. It just doesn't work that way. You're just gonna find yourself digging a very deep hole that you won't be able to get out of. And you won't even really have a lot of knowledge to go with. So when you actually do end up going much deeper into specific industries, you just won't have the idea, or you just won't know what to do, right? So again, pick one or two niches at most, maximum. Study their processes in detail, understand their sectors, understand their teams. So the marketing side, the fulfillment side, the sales side, the retention side, how they speak to their leads, what the operation is like. And once you get those, or once you understand and learn the system inside out, you basically become unstoppable, right? And it gives you the leverage to walk in, or when you approach a client, whether it's, in the store, on a call, via email, and you come in with the confidence of you telling them, listen, I already know how your CRM works. I know how your operation works. I know how your marketing works, what your customer journey is like, and I know exactly what it is that you need for me to come in and actually help you with the power of AI to leverage the AI basically to help you grow, maybe save time, like I've mentioned, help with revenue, etc. And with that, you've basically already won their trust, right? Because you've come in with so much knowledge, they believe what you say because what you're saying is not wrong. Now, building comes later. And what I mean by that is everyone wants to immediately jump in and start, building and connecting APIs and blah, blah, blah. And sure, it is a bit exciting. It is good to get your hands dirty. And I'm not saying don't do any of those things. It's always good to have practice, but the real skill, which is the trend also moving forward for AI, is not actually building the solutions, because you've got loads of tools building. You've got now ChatGPT come up with agent builders. You can build an agent builder from Lovable with no code. So building an automation is really not a high value skill at the moment, right? The highest value skill today, which is also there's a big lack of, is the skill in identifying, mapping, and designing a system before you even open a single tool. Okay. And that ideally also gives you the leverage to build a much cleaner, more efficient, and a much more valuable system or automation or workflow that companies and businesses actually need, right? So, again, if you really want to get into the whole AI space long term, it's really important that you position yourself in a way that you possess the expertise that businesses are looking for. Like I've mentioned several times, you making a automation or building a workflow really has no value today. A couple of months, maybe a year before, sure, NA10, Make.com, Go High Level, all of these tools were really, really doing well and popping off, and people needed businesses needed people to actually come in and build it for them. Not that there is a lack of, it's just that it's not really high in demand, A, and B, they're just going to pay you enough because there are people doing it for far less than what you think you should charge, right? Now, my advice would be learn the skill, understand AI, pick a niche, understand their business systems, their operations, and then use your knowledge with that to then identify how AI can come in and leverage. And I promise you, you're going to be miles ahead of everyone. This is the trend moving forward in 2026. So really, really stay on top of it. And don't think like a freelancer, okay? When you start pitching, hey, I can build you this automation, they think you're a freelancer. You're not going to position yourself well, and you're going to sound cheap, okay? Keep in mind that you are not just selling automations. You are selling clarity, you are selling efficiency, and your scale, ideally, right? So that would be my advice. If you like videos like this, I talk about strategy, tips, frameworks, etc., all revolving around AI and how you can position yourself as someone that can actually go and make money from AI by not just being someone basic or just selling simple automations, right? So if you like this video, please help this channel, help me. It'll help reach more people that are actually interested in learning true framework system building in AI. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.